you guys enjoy your whatever that is.
All right. Test.
Test.
Test. What do you call it again?
Convincing idiots.
Convincing idiots.
Called it ham gravy.
I informed them that I sided with the stat man, not just anyone's opinion, the stat man Brian Fisher.
These kids today.
Jingle All the Way is in fact the best Christmas movie of all time.
I need to get Grandma a present, and my herpes is flaring up. I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, yo, yo. I'm the millennial
We're
Santa.
three friends representing three different generations. That's our whole shtick. That's our thing.
Mm-hmm.
Nick got the whole poop.
Mm-hmm.
I'm standing in the sea
Caucasian.
breeze, holding a turd, just mightily. I'm just going hitting hats.
Anyway, on a lighter note,
Welcome back to a very spooktacular post-Halloween episode. 4-year anniversary of
Christmas
Convincing
time now.
Idiots. It is Christmas time now. Of Convincing Idiots, I am Millennial Nick alongside Gen X Brian and Zennial Dean. And we are joining you for this third segment this evening. We have been killing it all night long. And the only thing... What are you doing?
Nothing.
We've been killing... Oh, my micro penis? We've been killing it all night long. And some of you may be wondering how we are able to do this so well, 4 years deep. But I will tell you, it is no mystery. That's right. It is the friendship that binds. It is you, the listeners and viewers. And speaking of killing
We're all
it
friends.
and mysteries, I have an idea. Why don't we talk about our favorite murder mystery shows and movies for our final segment?
Ooh, I love
Yeah,
that.
it's spooky season, at the end of spooky
I talk
season.
about how I murdered that ass.
No, you sit in that. You just sit in that. Just you and the squeaking of the chair.
How long before you fucking have to edit this?
Okay. Brian, would you like to give us the outline? What are we doing?
We're doing what I just
Murder
did.
mysteries, right?
yes,
We're talking
murder
about
mystery shows
Tap that
or
ass.
movies. Doesn't have to be if it's a show. It could be a series, or it could be an episode you want to name, or again, just a movie that centers around a murder mystery.
Yeah.
You know what the greatest mystery of all is? Dean has a girlfriend upstairs.
It is a mystery.
In the very house that we record in for our 4-year anniversary, there is a woman who was chosen.
Yeah,
This man. She's asleep upstairs.
yeah.
She's a goddamn singer.
All right.
And
Who's kicking us
We've
off?
had Mystery Inc. on the case for years. They can't fucking figure it out. Yeah.
Let's all toast our girls having bad taste.
A human female woman
Yeah.
who has chosen this life.
Yeah.
Cheers. Cheers to them.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to start.
Please do.
We should say that, by the way. You did say that jokingly, but we didn't say it at the beginning of this. We'll say it now. But so our lovely partners.
They don't edit.
No,
They don't help.
No, but they do.
Well,
they do support this.
Or do they?
They-
Yours do?
Well,
I don't know that mine does.
no, but
She didn't punch you when you do it, so that
That's
help.
true. That is support.
And she really wants to.
Yeah.
yeah.
She wants to punch me for a lot of things.
That's
probably.
a good point, too.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
thank you.
Thank you to you.
our lovely
lovely
Thank you,
ladies.
Allie,
Yes.
for putting up with his ass. Thank you. No,
Yes,
seriously.
thank
Thank you, Megan. Thank you, Robin. Thank you, Allie.
Yes. Sorry, just had to mention.
Good. Good deal. All right. I'm going to kick us off here.
Awkward.
This is my favoriteest murder mystery
I
that
didn't even
is...
say anything.
Shit. Shush. This is my favoriteest, newest one. Okay? And we've already mentioned it on this show as you guys both discussed it. Only Murders in the Building.
Yeah.
Fantastic show. I would imagine it's probably on everybody's list here. Is it?
It is.
It
Okay.
is.
So it's just famously well done. Like you said, it got a classical kind of air to it. It's and the Martin Short and Steve Martin playing off of one another are just fantastic. Selena Gomez. I remember when that show first started, and I was like,
What an odd pairing.
yeah, Selena
Originally.
Gomez. Like,
Yeah.
really? Those are the three? That's weird.
But, like,
And but
within
it
like
works
halfway
so
into
good.
the first episode, you're like,
Oh yeah.
oh,
yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, and she ties. She really is. She is the rug that ties that room together. Yeah.
Yes.
Because you don't. I mean, if you just put those two in, I mean, they're just going and going.
Sure.
You
yeah.
need somebody
to break it up.
to hold it down, and that's what she does.
Yep.
Yeah, she's and she has that. If you were listening to her just as like a pop star or whatever, you wouldn't think that she has just like that everyday girl, sensibility. That like just like you are. She's the next door neighbor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, she's self-doubt, anxiety. It's a whole. It just plays it so well. Like you say, it's an every woman, if you will, everyday woman.
And
you
the
know
whole,
what's sorry? Go ahead.
no, go ahead. I was just going to say the theme of the whole show, just they borrow from like you said earlier, of the 80s or the 50s, 60s. They go through every genre of like a murder mystery and sprinkle it throughout the whole series. It's brilliant.
Yeah. You mentioned the whole dynamic of the girl next door thing and the anxiety and the self-doubt.
That's your rule.
Gen X Brian here from the Convincing Idiots podcast. If you're enjoying our show, tell a friend. And if you're not, well, tell two enemies. Yes. There was an episode on Scooby-Doo Mysteries where Phyllis Diller was brutally murdered. I don't know if you guys ever watched that one or not.
No.
And no, that's just a joke. Although there was a Phyllis Diller episode of the Scooby-Doo Mysteries. No, but one that is a very scary movie, one of my favorite thriller movies of all time, and a very good murder mystery if you think about it. The Silence of the Lambs.
Ooh,
sure,
that's good.
That's very good.
1991. You don't know. You see who the serial killer is. That was interesting about that movie because you see who the killer is, and then certainly in the movie, I mean, many people have seen it by now, but that's the type of movie that you see how the detective, how they piece together the clues to catch up to the killer.
That's true.
By the end
You don't need in a movie or TV show. You don't need it to be like a murder mystery.
Who is it? Who done it?
Right. You can find out like immediately,
Right.
and still be a good murder mystery.
Yeah.
Because the idea and the joy of it is watching the detectives and victims or whatever try to figure it out. And even in then, they're going to kind of flip in and kind of morph and fuck you up as a viewer.
Right.
So even if they go, first episode, killer, it's still going to bring you on a ride.
Right.
It makes it enjoyable.
Yeah. Great movie, and certainly full of many awesome performances that won Academy Awards. So for some reason, if you haven't seen The Silence of the Lambs and you want a good thriller, sit down, check that movie out.
Good pick.
It'd be very weird that anybody that would be watching or listening to a podcast like this hasn't seen Silence of the Lambs. Like Nick. So
I've
seen Silence of the Lambs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really?
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I would not have been guessing.
I've seen all of them actually.
Yeah, there's a few.
I mean, like the Red Dragon and that was the Hannibal was the
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Prequels.
I talked about this last week before, or something like that. I'm going Clue.
Sure.
I knew you were gonna do Clue. I fucking knew you were gonna do Clue.
Clue is actually we watched because Nora hadn't watched it, so we watched it last weekend, and it is I try to watch it, at least once a year.
Bi-weekly, whatever.
Yeah, it's such a good movie, and it was so much fun this week to watch it through the lens of somebody who's never seen it before, because I'm watching it and we're like 3/4 of the way through, and I'm like, Nora, you think you know who did it or whatever? And Megan's like, I don't. I'm like, she hadn't even seen it either.
Okay. Yeah.
We watched the play. We went to see the play at Weathervane, but she'd never seen the movie. So, dude, it's enjoyable. Tim Curry is brilliant. The whole cast,
Madeline Kahn.
Madeline. The Flames?
Christopher Lloyd.
The Flames?
Yeah.
If Robin watched this podcast, she would enjoy that. But yeah.
Sadly, she shan't.
She ain't, no.
Never.
Clue is, honestly, if I broke it down, it would probably be one of my favorite movies, period.
Yeah, one of the unique things, too, is that they film different endings. With
Yes.
different culprits.
Yeah.
And they played those different endings in different
Throughout
parts
the
of the country.
Oh, interesting.
So
And then when it finally went to HBO, they
see all
they showed all of them.
That's the one that
clever.
I saw.
I guarantee you saw that episode.
Probably.
Where like this,
Well, it's the-
it could have been this way. It could have been this way.
Yes.
And then at the end, this is what really happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So throughout the country, they gave 2 to 3
Oh,
different
interesting.
endings. So New
That's
York
cool.
saw, and like they didn't see like the Tim Curry, ending.
Yeah.
They saw the Madeline Kahn ending.
Very clever.
That's cool.
Yeah, and then finally when it came to HBO, they showed the idea of this, but this is what really happened.
Okay. That's cool.
Just because of that, simply, I love Clue.
That's a cool idea.
So yeah, my number one, and probably my number one is Clue.
And again, probably one of the top 2 movies based on a board game.
Yeah,
all
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The movie about Stratego.
Ooh, that's up there.
Probably number 1.
Sure.
Yeah.
Don't count out Trouble. The P. Diddy story?
Yeah.
Ooh.
4 years. Work up to that joke, ladies and gentlemen.
You got me on that one. I'm about to like do a stupid joke. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
AIDS. There's got to be AIDS involved in that somewhere. Anyway, all right. So,
He doesn't.
all right. Next up, this is actually this is a real murder mystery, and one that to this day has not been solved, and fascinates me endlessly. Big lead up here, but I'm going to go ahead and describe it like this. I don't know if there's an afterlife, but if there is, I hope that it is some type of all-encompassing knowledge. And the reason that I want that to be is so that I actually know what happened here. And I'm going to go with the documentary, the 3-part documentary called Paradise Lost on HBO. It is the story, you guys familiar with the West Memphis 3?
Yeah.
So it is the story of 3, I think they believe they were 8-year-old boys that were bound and murdered and abused, and their bodies dumped in Arkansas, and kind of ties into what you were talking about with the hysteria plot. Early 90s Arkansas, there were these 3 kids that were, wore all black, big Metallica fans, and that people saw them as odd, and that they thought that they were Satan worshipers and things like that. So they basically found a way to pin these murders on these 3 young boys. They were high school kids,
Yeah.
and they spent, oh God, I don't even know,
20 to 30.
Years. I mean, up well into their
Years and
30s
years.
in prison
Yeah.
for these crimes in which they did not commit. And what's really cool, if you have not watched it, the Paradise Lost it's a trilogy. I believe the first one came out in I want to say 98. HBO did the first one.
Yeah.
The second one came out in 04, and then there's another one in
They just kept
2009.
keeping up with
Yeah,
the
they kept
story.
keeping up with the story,
Okay.
and there's this 3-part series that follows it as it goes. So it's really cool because it's in real time, and they're basically movies. The first one that you watch is present with that time and the information they had at the time.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. There's also a movie about it.
There was. Yeah, I
But
can't
Reese
remember
Witherspoon
now.
plays the
Yeah.
mother of the one boy that was murdered. That's kind of how I got into it. Somebody let me borrow this movie way back when we let friends borrow DVDs, and that's how we saw things. And I was, I'm like, oh, this is a true story. So I started watching, and I am endlessly enamored by this story and who actually did it, because it's very clear and blatantly
The boys
obvious
didn't.
these kids did not.
Correct.
The problem
They were
is
they
to
were
this
coerced in the the way the police did the interrogations and got the confessions was
Well, one of the guys
bullshit.
that it admitted to, I mean, had an incredibly low IQ, and at that time would have certainly been deemed on the spectrum, or with some type
they
of
would have never been able to
challenge. Yeah, so
even present it.
right. So, but they were able to coerce this kid in, and then from there, it just kept rolling. So, anyway, man, if you
And one of the
if
guys
you watch
that
any
is out
documentary in
now-
your life, Paradise Lost, those three, they're just fantastic.
and they're out now. I mean, spoiler
Yeah,
alert.
yeah, all three of them are.
And one of them, at least one of them, I know, takes up. He does a charity or what? Not charity, but he does victims advocates or people that are wrongfully accused. Like he holds up that
I
sort
think
of.
it's Damien Eccles, the one
that sort of charity type thing, where like that's his life goal is like nobody else should go what we did.
Yeah, yeah. So I highly recommend it, and like I said, I was just completely.
Yeah, it's a wild story.
I was enthralled.
You enjoy it.
Yeah, it's very, very good.
All right. Very good.
All right, Brian.
Great movie, 1988, full of many of my favorite cartoon actors and actresses at the time. Who Framed Roger
Nicely
Rabbit?
done. That's on my list too.
That's good.
Is it
Nice.
really?
I thought for sure nobody else would have that one. Nice.
Yeah, you sort of forget that it's a murder mystery. You don't know, of course, who framed Roger Rabbit.
Yep.
Right? So, again, another one of these movies, if you haven't seen it, it was one of the first that it's not one of the first. It had been a long time, put it that way. I remember it was like Mary Poppins, they had, Dick Van Dyke dancing with animated penguins and stuff like that. But that was something you didn't see a whole lot of with a live actor playing with animated actors.
And they really interacted him in that one, where like even kissing him and stuff. And I mean, they really, it wasn't. It was
Bob Hoskins in that movie was just his acting with animated characters around. I mean, acting around. There's been great performances with like Muppets and different things like that were very good in their own right. But him acting with animated characters, that's all it was. It was nothing but animated characters for most of the movie around him.
Yeah, he was a real straight man.
Like you would never if you would have like put somebody to watch that movie and like replace the animated characters with like people, you would think that he's doing a straight up goddamn movie.
Yeah. Oh,
like there's no other than some dialogue that refers to animation.
Yeah.
He plays it fucking straight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, the animation is great. The storyline is great. Acting phenomenal. It's just a great movie. I haven't watched that in a while. We need to go back and check it out.
It's
and
been
as we
a
mentioned in
long
prior
time.
episodes too.
Jessica Rabbit's made appearances in many of our
one
lists.
of the early animated characters where, as a young person, as a young guy, you're like, I shouldn't feel this way about an animated character. But
That's how I discovered what boners were at a very young age.
Sure, I get it.
I thought about Tasmanian Devil. So my next one.
You real wildcat.
I was like, oh, that's what it sounds like. So my next one is Knives Out.
That's on my list as well.
Knives Out.
Great movie.
It came out. The second one came out.
2019.
The Onion.
That was only like 2 years ago. Maybe?
Yeah,
recent. Yeah.
but like the second one came out, and I hadn't seen any of them because for some reason it didn't appeal to me. I didn't, maybe the marketing. I don't know, but it just wasn't my deal. Megan made me watch it. First one, and I was fucking hooked. He is Daniel Craig plays the modern day.
It's like a Southern gentleman detective type character.
I can't remember quite right now. The Agatha Christie.
Yeah. Or Cube or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
He plays the modern day Agatha Christie detective.
Yeah.
And it's so good. Like the cast is amazing. The writing, it's one of those movies where I was like, Because, like, again, I was skeptic, and then, like, quarter way through, I'm like, yeah, that guy did it. And then, like, you're going, I'm like, at the end, you're just fucking blown away because, like, holy shit. Like, I didn't see that the way it was written. It beautifully written. The actors, the story, and even the sequel, the Onion
It was a
one.
good one.
And they're making
I
a
think they're
third
making
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved them. And I want to see more from Daniel Craig as that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he in that era, there's not a lot of actors that played James Bond,
Right.
one of the most prolific movie
And it's so
characters.
opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of those guys went on. I mean, some did. Certainly, Sean Connery had
Sure.
success in other movies, and
He couldn't
Pierce
believe it.
Brosnan and all that. But a lot, very quickly though, you're like, that's James Bond as whatever. But you
5 minutes
you
in,
forgot,
you
didn't even think
forget
James
about it
Bond.
because the
Yeah.
accent, the mannerisms,
Yeah.
like he's that character at that moment.
Yeah,
You've seen
Oh
it,
yeah,
right?
yeah, they're fantastic.
Dude, it's so good.
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, Knives Out is and the sequel and any other sequels coming forward.
Yeah.
They're on the list.
Right, that's my number 2.
Daniel Craig, with his acting, has created a character that can thrive in different movies
Right.
now
Yeah.
because they seem to be popular. So yeah, good for him.
Absolutely.
It's great.
Oh, is it me again?
Yeah, I think
It's
so,
you.
sir.
All right, my next one, I'm going to go with, this is one of my favorite movies of all time. And I actually think of it primarily as an incredible drama, but as I was thinking about it, I'm like, no, it's a murder mystery movie. Probably top 5 films of all time.
Top Gun.
No. Mystic River. Yeah, Sean Penn, Kevin Bacon,
Sure.
Tim Robbins, great fucking movie.
That's
Have you guys
absolutely
seen
a murder mystery.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I mean,
Long
you don't,
time,
you
man.
really, you don't know what happened until the very end, and it ties it all together. Such a great twist. I showed it to Robin a couple years ago for the first time.
Before that,
because she'd never seen it.
of the acting.
Oh
It's
my
just
god,
a-
it's incredible. I mean,
Have you ever
like,
seen it?
Man, it's been a long time. If I have,
dude,
I
it's
don't.
so
Remember, I don't
good.
remember it, but that
It's
was. Yeah.
it's compelling and awkward and
Yeah.
uncomfortable.
Yep.
Just like this
good.
podcast.
brief
ladies and gentlemen.
synopsis: it's 3 friends that grew up together. Something traumatic happens to one of them, and then they all, they grew up. They stay in the same town, but as
grew
grown
apart.
men, they
Yeah.
just grew apart. Lives led them in different places, very different ends of the social spectrum or what have you. And one of the guys' daughters is murdered, and it alludes to it. It's just, it really has a lot of twists and turns. It keeps you guessing.
The society thinks one guy did it,
Yeah.
but the movie makes you question, and then the rest of the movie makes you find out
Yeah.
Okay.
who did it.
And it's heartbreaking. It really is.
Yes,
It's
it's-
sad.
yeah.
It's just so well done.
Was it Sean Penn won for that, right?
I don't know. He fucking should have if he didn't.
I think
Sean
Penn
Penn's
won
my
an
favorite
Oscar.
actor of all time. And
Dude,
like,
so
there is the
goddamn-
one
Yeah.
scene where he's screaming about, "Is that my daughter?" And I'm like, it gives me chills every time.
Yeah.
It's just such a good fucking movie. But yeah, Mystic River is a fantastic murder mystery.
Very
movie.
good.
Yeah.
I didn't. That wasn't even on my radar.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay. Very good.
Brian, what you got?
7.
I got 7 too.
1995.
Yep.
What's in the box?
Mm-hmm.
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
One of the
So good.
most shocking twist endings. That was just shocking. I mean, I don't know what else to say. It was that stayed with you. That's the type of movie where it just, it had that residue on your brain for a long time.
You felt
after
a little
watching
icky.
That. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. But just again, tremendous acting.
Yeah.
Kevin Spacey, Morgan Freeman, Brad
Dean
Brad
loves
Pitt.
Kevin Spacey.
You-
Ugh.
well,
Yeah,
but
just,
you lead up to it. It's a basic '90s cop movie.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
who done it, cool guy, and the old cop, and you're just kind of going about it, and then what? A little more than 3/4 of the way through, it fucking just shifts like a motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man,
And
Yeah,
like,
it's a really well
dude,
done movie.
it's
I
so
love
good.
Actually, we're talking about it. I'm like, I went to a concert with a buddy of mine, with John, a few years back, and we're at the Foundry in Cleveland. And we went to go see a show, and if you're familiar with the Foundry, it's just the whole place is a long bar. They got food, they got beers, and in between bands, everybody just kind of hangs by the bar. And I'm sitting there and I'm eating a burger, waiting for the band to start, and they have Seven playing on with the subtitles, and I'm like, enthralled, because it had
you're
been
enthralled,
years since I'd
sure.
seen it, and I'm like, oh yeah, like, just eating it up. Like, it was, I'm like, I need to go home and watch this, like, because it just wasn't, watching it on mute with subtitles was not
Right.
enough. I'm like, now I came here to see a band, but I want to watch Seven instead. It's so good.
That movie is just
Yeah.
It's like you said, enthralling.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, good one.
Dean?
My next movie. It's fun that it ties in to Brian's movie because Kaiser Sose is a huge part of like that 1990s lure of bad guys who you try to figure out through the movie The Usual Suspects. You guys seen it?
Yeah, it's been a long time since I saw it. Yeah.
Well, spoiler alert, it's been 30 fucking years. Eat shit. At the end, throughout the movie, the police are interrogating all of these like half-wit kind of like mob people that are like, low lifes, and they're trying to figure out this crime, and the cops keep coming back to Kaiser Sose being the big boss, right? That's who they want to get to. So they're questioning all of these. Benicio del Toro is one of them. Just a line of just scumbag lowlifes trying to get to Kaiser Sose, the big boss. And Kevin Spacey is like this fucking weirdo, like half-wit. His legs bum, and at the very end, the greatest twist. If you could Google greatest twist in cinemas in the 20th century, Usual Suspects will come up, because at the end, the Kevin Spacey has been just this needy and incompetent actor, not actor, but
character.
The character. And at the end, they don't have anything, so they let everybody go. And Kevin Spacey limping away, and the limp turns into a walk, turns into a stride. He's been Kaiser Sose the whole time. And I know I just spoiled fucking everything. Because to watch...
Now I never need to see it.
Well, I know you guys don't watch shit I recommend, so I got no problem doing this. But it's honestly one of the, especially in the 90s, one of the biggest, like, fuck you moments in movies. Because you're watching this, it's a murder mystery. You're watching, this crime that they're trying to figure out, and then at the end they're like, oh, they can't figure it out. They can't. We kind of know who did it, but, they never found Kaiser Sose. And then, like, the scene is of Kevin Spacey limping, and they got, like, it's from behind, and it's his leg, and then it just he kind of fucking morphs into walking into, like, and you find out, oh shit, and then they do a flashback of, like, the things you didn't see in the background of all these scenes throughout the movie, that he was Kaiser Sose, the big boss the whole time.
I love that shit. I love when they like, kind of show their hand at the end.
And
like, oh, here's
again, I would never have done this. Y'all probably have seen it, and I know you would never have watched it. So, but even if you watch it now, you would still appreciate how good Kevin Spacey was, and this movie is.
Clip that. You would appreciate how good Kevin Spacey was.
Promo.
Yes. All right. So, Usual Suspects is my next movie.
All right. I think I might be on my last one because I had two of my. I had a I had an honorable mention, but both were taken by Brian already. So I think the last one I have on my list is another documentary that is a real murder mystery. And I picked it mostly because at the time it came out, it really took everybody by storm, and we, like, Robin and I were just fucking addicted to it.
E.T.
It's not E.T. Making a Murderer. This is the guy in Wisconsin that may or may not have been rightfully or wrongfully accused of the murder of.
Do you know how many people E.T. murdered?
I don't. A lot. Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, then it's not a mystery if you know that.
That's true.
So it doesn't count.
That's true.
Anyway, Making a Murderer. It was just one of those. It was, I think, one of the. I don't want to claim that it put Netflix on the map, but it was certainly as far as
it was a phenomenon.
Early days of Netflix and their own
it was the
documentaries. It was
everybody
was
joy of the
watching it.
pandemic.
No, this is way before the pandemic. This is before like Oliver was born. I think Wayne was a baby. Like we were watching this in like 2015. I want to say before that. It was. I want to say 2013.
I was thinking of the goddamn Tiger King. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But it was Tiger King before
it was Tiger.
that.
Yeah, it was Tiger King. Yeah,
everybody was talking about it.
Yeah, and like we would start to see these. Huh?
Right, Massey? That was the guy?
Dassey. Brendan Dassey is the...
Dassey.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
they're again similar thing.
Yeah.
Where they kind of got this kid with a not very high IQ in a room, and this poor fucking kid, all he wanted to go home and do was watch
Brian
WrestleMania.
got me to do with the
He kept asking
podcast.
if he answered their questions, could he be home in time to watch WrestleMania?
Oh, yeah.
And it's brutal. So sad. They're like... Yeah, we'll figure out a way to get you to watch WrestleMania. We just need you to say what we need to hear and whatever.
I really hope you watch
and
that
it's
WrestleMania.
I don't think so. And it was,
Shit.
you know what? I think it was WrestleMania 2000, which was a fucking good one too.
That's a good one.
It was a good one. I could be wrong on the WrestleMania year. I don't know, but WrestleMania 2000 was a good one.
Most WrestleManias are good.
They are, yeah. Anyway, it was like just one of those things. Everybody seemed to be watching it all at the same time, and we were just completely enthralled. We couldn't stop watching it. And I know they've made follow-up series. I've not kept up with the case and the trials and all that stuff because there's been different things where he's, with that documentary coming out, people have made motions to reopen cases and things like that. So I don't know where that currently stands, but culturally, at the time, we're talking circa 20, I want to say like 2013, somewhere around there, like, Making a Murderer was a huge deal and really fun to watch at the time.
It was just fascinating because he managed to get out.
Yeah, he made it out. He was
a huge situation, and then
ended up right back in there.
Fucked up.
Yep.
Got put right back in jail again, and he's stuck in there again to where he. Yeah, it's fascinating.
Yeah,
like you said, it was fascinating.
And a little bit like sad. That's not trying to be mean or whatever, but it was also funny. Like just the thing we would sit there and laugh because it's literally very lower class Wisconsin town. I mean, just the way they
poor dumb people.
Yes, wrong, but also that's essentially. I mean, we were just the things that they say to each other and the phone conversations that they had, and it just. I don't know. It was a little bit humorous, but also it really kept your mind engaged, and you're like, "What the fuck happened here?" Like, and in that, at least in the original series that was released, we could never really come down on one way or the other. It was like a 50-50. It's like maybe he did do it. Kind of seems maybe like he did. We still don't know. Still don't know.
Yep.
But Brian.
Well, let's see. I had an overlap with. Only Murders in the Building. Rear Window. I'll pull that from my honorable mentions. Rear Window. That is an Alfred Hitchcock movie with the great Jimmy Stewart, who played in a few Alfred Hitchcock movies. You know, when you think about that, but
Vertigo, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
There's a couple of them he was in, but this particular movie, it's a very basic premise. It was a prolific. I think it was a writer or something in the movie, but he was confined to a wheelchair.
Right.
He was hung up, his legs in a cast, and he's in New York when it's like in a courtyard of apartments, and as a pastime, he's just, watching the neighbors. Just
Yeah,
kind of
it's like
seeing what's going on. He sort
binoculars.
of picks up on, storylines within the apartment buildings. This guy seems to be having an affair. What's going on here? What's going on there? And he catches a situation. It looks like someone murdered somebody. And so the rest of the movie, he's just trying to figure out. He's trying to piece it together. Who murdered this person, and then
You're not only trying to figure out, who murdered this person, but
Yeah.
like, did a murder actually even take place?
well, that's true. You're right.
Like
right. It
there's
looks like you're correct.
yeah, there's two
Looks like someone was
mysteries
murdered.
as
That's
the
right.
viewer that
That's
you're
right.
trying to do.
Yeah.
That's right. That's exactly what it was. Was this woman killed? And then he's trying to piece it together,
Right.
and then it gets pretty tense. So then it's the added tension as well because he's helpless. He's confined to this
Yeah,
wheelchair.
he's the viewer as you are.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
That's cool.
And one of the most beautiful things of all of that is when you know that you've made pop culture, The Simpsons remade that whole, in one of their episodes, remade that movie.
Yeah.
And I think it was one of the Halloween episodes or something.
Treehouse of Terror.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, Simpsons did it over, but yeah,
Okay.
good pick.
Plus, again, it's Hitchcock and Jimmy Stewart. So
I'm gonna have to
can't
check
go
that
wrong.
out.
It's
Right.
very
I'm
good.
a
You
big
can find it
fan
on
of both
streaming
of
for
those, so,
free.
yeah.
It's
Right.
very, very good. Easy watch. Excellent movie.
All right, so I had Only Murders in the Building also. So I'm going to go, well, Nick went reality, so I'm going to go also. As through our childhood, who didn't love the unsolved mysteries? The Robert Stack, the music, the tone, the voice.
Yeah.
Who didn't? I don't know about you guys, but like that scared the shit out of me sometimes.
Sure.
Like
Yeah.
some of the stories and shit that they did, just even the sound of it was like frightening, right?
Yeah.
And then like, I don't know about you, but like
And his narration was great.
so good.
Yeah.
And then like you heard that
Oh yeah.
where like they like update. You're like, oh, did they find him? Did they find him?
now?
Please hope and tell me they find him, dude. And they never did. It was like some weird update of like it was close, but But fuck, Robert Stack's voice
Yeah.
was just brilliant and scary. And yeah, so Unsolved Mystery is my next.
Yeah.
Nice.
Scare a lot of 80s kids.
Absolutely.
sure. As we should have been scared.
Right.
Prepare for life.
That's right.
You know?
It got so much scarier than
That's
you
why
ever
we're
would've thought.
prepared and those little
Yeah.
fuckers aren't.
That's right. That's right. Is that all of them? Honorable mentions? Or you have another one?
My honorable mentions were taken
I got
by
two.
you actually.
Okay.
Two of mine. Haunting in Venice.
I have that one too. Very good one.
So good. Like that was one that like Megan watched and she's like, oh, you're gonna love it. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But I watched it. Huge fan. Huge fan.
That's the newest of the the more modern Agatha
Correct.
Christie
Correct.
novel movies, 2023.
Yeah.
I agree with
Kenneth Branagh.
Yes.
Not only is the main detective for Agatha Christie, but he's also like the producer and shit of those movies.
Yeah, that last one was just beautifully shot.
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you weren't sure if it was a horror movie or
Yeah.
if it
It was
was.
spooky.
Yeah.
I think it came out, I want to say, last year around Halloween.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
You know,
good.
It's out
So
there on
good.
streaming, yeah.
Excuse me. The other one, Sherlock Holmes in general. The TV shows, the movies.
Sure.
I wanted to just pay homage to the original murder mystery
Yeah.
that is Sherlock Holmes. There's been books and movies and TV and
And hats.
hats,
Yep.
pipes, and all that.
right.
So yeah,
That's good.
Sherlock Holmes in general. So
Very good. Let's see. Well, honorable mentions. I had we mentioned Clue already. Haunting in Venice, as you just said. The Fugitive.
ooh,
Harrison Ford,
Oh, yeah.
1993. Now
Yep.
they had
Man
a
with the
television series. This is based on the television series, the movie. But again, very enthralling
But-
role for him. And go ahead.
but you know it's based upon the story from Cleveland. Shepard, who had had his wife killed,
Okay.
he was, I don't want to say, I know, goddamn it, this is Alan Shepard, but he went to space. But last name Shepard.
Okay.
He was a surgeon in Cleveland, and his wife was murdered, and he was accused for it. He went to jail for a little bit, and then they had a retrial, and because a lot of it, like there was a guy that he chased down the beach and beat up and stuff. Like there's a lot of, and Shepard got out. Not only Shepard, he actually ended up being a professional wrestler. He was the one that created the heart punch. But yeah, the story is based upon. He is a Shepard, last name Shepard, from Cleveland, a surgeon whose wife was killed, and he went to jail for years. And,
Okay.
yeah.
I did not remember that. Okay. And this slasher movie became a series that was very clever and taking a different twist on the slasher films. Scream, 1996. So
Again,
that very interesting concept. You did not know who the killer was, and
Until
they kind
the
of twist
very
and turns
fucking
throughout
end.
the movie.
Yep.
And then every movie since, it's the same type of
Yeah,
concept.
even
You don't
different
know
iteration,
who
you're
is the
right.
ghost mask guy,
Yep.
right? So, yeah, very cool, very clever.
Nice.
That's what we got. So, what's the elements? Quickly, what are the elements?
Well,
of
there
a
has to be
good
murder, and then you have to not know who
mystery?
did it.
There you have it.
There you go.
Well, not necessarily. Now we talked about that.
yeah, you
There's
could
different
find out
ways
early.
to do it.
Oh, let's throw. Okay.
It is honestly
murder,
the
and
big-
someone has to not know who did it.
Well, do you have a preference? But that's another part. Do you have a preference in? Do you like the not knowing who and finding out, or do you prefer knowing what happened and watching the
Knowing-
detectives work their way
knowing
through
everything that we've seen over the past whatever years. I actually prefer more of the plot twists of you know who they give you the ending. I enjoy knowing at the ending, and I enjoy the writer giving you this, weaving you through the story, and then confusing you towards the end of like, he did it, but yada yada.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't mind going, this is Ted Bundy, but look how we get there.
Okay.
Yeah.
The story is better than the ending to me.
I agree, but I would frame it in this way. I respect that way of storytelling that, like, I'm going to give you the end, but like what you said, I respect that more. But personally, I enjoy more being along for the ride.
Okay.
Like, I don't, I
Okay.
enjoy trying to figure it out as we go. That's more fun for me.
Sure.
But I respect the hell out of somebody that can give you the ending and then make a compelling story even though you know where it goes.
If you're going to do that, though, I need the movie or TV show to be from the perspective of the person. So you're the eyes.
Sure. Yeah,
you know what I mean? I don't want to be the overcast and to see everything going on. I want to be confused as, oh, this character is being told this, so you don't know this.
Right.
You know what I mean? Rather than like you're watching of this character was told this, oh, because of this, because I'm watching this as a camera type deal. If you're gonna do that, I want to be part of the weave.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, the easy answer is it depends on the story.
Sure.
But I think the ones that entertain me the most are those where you're sort of, like you say, you don't know. It's a true whodunit.
Yeah.
And you
Right.
walk through the eyes of the detective or whatever it is in the movie and to piece things together so you have your own idea of who did it, and it's a lot of fun to find out were you right or not right or whatever
Right.
it
Yeah,
is, you know.
yeah.
So, yeah. But, all right, very good. Well, one thing that is not a mystery is that we are at the end of our 4-year episode.
That's right. I can tell you who done it.
Can't tell you
Gen X
why.
Brian,
Who smelt it, dealt it, ladies and gentlemen.
Zennial Dean, Millennial Nick. We
That's
done
right.
it. That's right.
That's
4
right.
years.
That's right.
No mystery here.
No.
Anyway, outro. You guys are looking at me. I'm sorry.
you do
I
the
let us say
goddamn
I didn't know
outro.
it. Yeah,
That was pretty
well,
good.
You know,
All right, well,
dropped the ball there.
The
you
magic
did.
of
You,
editing.
you dropped the ball, so not a lot of people get to witness this part of the show. Nikolai, I'm going to call you out.
Yeah.
You're going to do the outro
Okay.
in a Sherlock Holmes-esque detective 19th century deal.
Well, my dear boy, allow me to tell you where to find your favorite podcast. You might be asking yourself, what the fuck is a podcast? Well, a podcast is a grouply meeting of 3 friends representing 3 different generations called Convincing Idiots. So, fire up your fancy computer machine and go to Google, type in Convincing Idiots Linktree. There you will find the answers to all your most desired questions, such as, what is their Facebook page? Where are they at on Instagram? Are they on X or Twitter? All of your answers are there for you. Those and so much more. For that, as well as a merch store in which you can buy stylish clothing for yourself, and ways that you can be a patron to the show, you can go to their website, which is convincingidiots.wordpress.com. So, for this episode of Convincing Idiots, I have been Millennial Nick.
I am Zennial Dean.
Elementary. Gen X Brian.
We don't need to do any more convincing of ourselves or you. We want to thank you if you have only joined us for this episode or any of the episodes of the last 4 years. We appreciate you. We appreciate each other, I think.
For the most
And
part.
for this episode of Convincing Idiots, thank you very much. Happy anniversary to us. Happy Halloween to you. Go vote whichever way you choose to do so. And
do
we'll
it the
see
right
you here
way.
next week on Convincing Idiots.
Hey, Dean with Convincing Idiots. Brian and Nick here. Like and subscribe.
Ham grape.
Let's let Megan be the objective observer.
What?
Is it crooked? Is it slanted a
Slightly.
little bit? Or is that just me?
This grape.
Yeah.
Back over there.
Back the other way.
You went past.
No. I think that might be it.
I think that's it.
I think
You
that's it.
captured it.
There.
That's it.
Did you just down that?
It is recording, right? Yeah, okay.
Are you centered?
Got 15 minutes till it kicks in. Better drive fast.
All right, brother.
See you, buddy.
See you, bud. Safe.
You're centered, right?
Spiritually or?
Yes.
Yes. No, we're a little bit.
Yeah,
We
I
can
think
all
it's
scoot
from
towards
this
Brian
way.
a little bit. I feel like
You're
he's
the
in.
you're the director. Yeah.
Do you want me to
Yes.
move the whole thing this way? a little?
Yeah, tripod and I'll just slide.
It looks different because,
The guitar's there.
right.
I mean, I think it looks fine. I think we're a little bit closer to Dean's side, but it's okay. I mean, I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Main thing is we get the sound.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dope.
What are we doing tonight? Joking.
How many segments?